This is the History 375 Modern China True and False. So I will read out the true and false, and I would encourage you to follow along with the PowerPoint and then pause the video so you can test yourself, right? So I'll read it, pause for a second, and then give the correct answer. So the first true and false question: the philosophy of Confucius served as the foundation of the Chinese imperial system. That is true. The second true and false question: Zhu Yonzhang was the peasant who founded the Ming Dynasty. That is true. Zheng He was the general who put down the rebellion of the three feudatories. That is false. Zheng He was the one who led a naval armada to India and Africa and other places, showing how the Ming Dynasty was capable of exploring had they wanted to, but they mostly focused just on getting tribute and getting political legitimacy by bringing people from Africa to India to say how awesome the Chinese emperor was. True or false? Wang Yongming believed that only years of education could help people become good. That is false. He's the guy that believed that experience and listening to your heart would help you be a good person. True or false? Macau was a Portuguese-controlled area that served primarily as a base for pirates. That is false. It served as a missionary base. Matteo Ricci was a Catholic missionary who tried to use Western science and technology to convince Chinese to become Catholics. That is true. Wan Li's active rule helped preserve the Ming Dynasty for longer than it otherwise would have lasted. That is false. Wan Li, you might remember, was a passive-aggressive ruler who didn't really want to have much to do with actually ruling, but he ended up being the emperor of China for a very long time, helping to lead to the decline and fall of the Ming Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty was ruled by the Manchu ethnic group. That is true. Kangxi was a powerful emperor who helped solidify Qing rule by putting down the rebellion of the three feudatories and accepting Confucianism. That is true. Qianlong was a powerful emperor of the Qing Empire, but he did not take growing Western power seriously. That is true. Lin Zheju was a Qing official who supported legalizing opium. That is false. He was put in charge of the campaign to suppress opium. Heng Juchuan was an official devoted to self-strengthening who helped put down the Christian-inspired Taiping rebellion led by Zheng Guofan. It is false, but becomes true if you reverse the names. Zheng Guofan was an official devoted to self-strengthening who helped put down the Christian-inspired Taiping rebellion led by Heng Juchuan. Wu Ren was a Mongol Qing official who opposed self-strengthening. That is true. He thought math was kind of useless and that it would not be a good idea to take so-called barbarians as their teachers. Xixi was a powerful Manchu woman who dominated the Qing government throughout much of the 19th century. That is true. Kang Youwei was the emperor during the 100 Days of Reform. That is false. He was the one who helped advise the emperor during the 100 Days of Reform. Chu Jin was a nationalist and a feminist who believed that literature was key to building a strong China. That is false in the sense that she didn't really focus on literature. She actually took part in a plan to assassinate a guy. However, she really was a nationalist and a feminist. Sun Yat-sen Sun Yat-sen was an anti-Qing nationalist who became the first president of the Republic of China. That is true. Lu Xun helped found the Communist Party because he believed the May 4th movement was a failure. That is false. Lu Xun never became a communist. He was part of the May 4th movement and criticized Chinese culture through such works as the Madman's Diary and the True Story of Ah Q. Chen Duxiu edited New Youth and helped establish the Chinese Communist Party. That is true. Chiang Kai-shek was the leader of the Nationalist Party who fought the Japanese and the Communists. That is true. Mao Zedong helped found the Communist Party and would come to lead it for many years. That is true. Wang Jingwei was a loyal general of Chiang Kai-shek. That is false. He was a nationalist who was a competitor with Chiang Kai-shek. He was on the left political spectrum, but he was still a nationalist. But later on during the Japanese invasion, he would actually collaborate with the Japanese. Sun Mei-ling was a loyal general of Chiang Kai-shek. That is false. She was his wife. Though Joseph Stilwell could speak Chinese fluently, he did not get along well with Chiang, causing problems between China and the United States. That is true. Ding Ling was an author who was attracted to communism and was forced to change her views during the Rectification Campaign. That is true. Mao Zedong and Nikita Khrushchev emphasized the triumph of communism over their own country's national interests. That is false. They were more interested in their own country's national interests. Liu Shaoqi criticized the Great Leap Forward and was punished by Mao for it. That is true. Lei Feng was a soldier held up by the Communist Party as a model of good behavior. That is true, and he also did not actually exist. Lin Biao promoted the cult of Mao but fell from favor and died under mysterious circumstances. That is true, and remember he was also an army general, which is one reason why Mao wanted his support. Peng Dehuai was an important communist army general who was punished during the Cultural Revolution. That is true. Jiang Qing was placed in charge of the army during the Cultural Revolution. That is false. She was Mao's wife and was placed in charge of culture. Deng Xiaoping was a pragmatic communist who focused on economic development. That is true. Hu Yaobang was a reforming official whose death led to gatherings that developed into the 1989 Tiananmen Square democracy protests. That is true. Li Peng was an important Chinese official who took a hard line against the students during the 1989 democracy protests. That is true. Zhao Jiang was an important Chinese official who supported dialogue with the students during the 1989 democracy protests. That is true. Wang Dan was an important early leader of the 1989 democracy protests. That is true. Chai Ling was a moderate leader in the 1989 democracy protests who argued that the protesters should leave the square. That is false. She was a radical leader in the 1989 democracy protest who did not want to leave the square. Xi Jinping is the current leader of China. That is true, at least at the time this video is being made in 2019. And true or false, Tsai Ing-wen is the current president of the Republic of China, Taiwan. That is true.